Why is it that some people seem to win at everything they do? Whether it's business, relationships, or personal growth, they keep rising, while others with the same intelligence, resources, and opportunities stay stuck. It almost feels unfair, doesn't it? But here's the truth. Success isn't luck, and it's not even just hard work. It's psychology. The way you think, the way you react, the way you train your mind to see opportunities. That's the real game changer. And the surprising part? You can learn it too. In this video, I'm going to break down the hidden psychology of success. 7 mental shifts that separate the winners from the rest. By the end, you'll see exactly why some people always win, and how you can start applying the same mindset today. So, stay with me, because this might just be the turning point in your life. Section 1. The winner's mindset, belief before proof. If you look closely at people who always win, you'll notice something powerful. They believe in the result long before they actually see it. Most people operate the other way around. They wait for proof, validation, or some kind of evidence before committing to a goal. But winners flip the script. They train their minds to visualize success as if it's already real, and then they act in alignment with that belief. This is not some empty motivational talk. It's psychology. Research on the self-fulfilling prophecy shows that when people deeply believe something about themselves, their behavior unconsciously shifts to make it true. If you believe you're destined to fail, you'll hesitate, procrastinate, and sabotage your own chances. But if you carry the mindset that you're going to win, no matter how tough it gets, you naturally work harder, take smarter risks, and recover faster from setbacks. That's why athletes rehearse winning in their minds before stepping onto the field. That's why entrepreneurs keep going after failure. They're not waiting for life to show them proof. They start with belief, and that belief drives action until proof arrives. The psychology here is simple. Your brain doesn't distinguish much between imagined success and real success. It responds to both. So when you repeatedly imagine yourself succeeding, your brain wires itself to expect it, and you start showing up as the kind of person who makes it happen. Winners don't just have talent. They have the audacity to believe first and prove later. Section 2. Emotional control. Mastering the inner game. Success isn't only about what you do. It's about what you can resist doing. The people who always win aren't the ones who never feel fear, stress, or frustration. They're the ones who don't let those emotions control their actions. Think about it. Most people lose momentum not because they lack intelligence, but because they get overwhelmed by emotions. Fear makes them quit. Anger makes them react poorly. Doubt makes them freeze. But winners develop emotional control. Psychologists call this emotional regulation. The ability to stay calm under pressure, think clearly when things go wrong, and make decisions based on logic instead of temporary feelings. This is one of the biggest differences between people who succeed and people who stay average. When life throws chaos at them, average people panic. Winners pause, breathe, and adjust. Emotional control is not about ignoring feelings. It's about mastering them. Imagine 2 entrepreneurs facing rejection. One feels insulted and gives up. The other feels the sting too, but channels it into motivation and tries again. Over time, that difference creates entirely different outcomes. So if you want to develop the psychology of success, start practicing emotional control. Pause before reacting. Train your mind to stay calm in uncomfortable situations. Winners don't win because life is easier for them. They win because they don't let life storms throw them off course. Section 3. The power of delayed gratification. Here's a truth most people don't want to hear. Winners play the long game. They're willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term results. And this one skill alone puts them far ahead of the competition. Psychologists proved this decades ago with the famous marshmallow experiment. where kids were given one marshmallow and told they'd get two if they could wait instead of eating it right away. The children who were able to wait ended up achieving more success later in life, from better careers to healthier relationships. Why? Because delayed gratification is the foundation of discipline. Most people lose because they can't wait. They want comfort now, rewards now, validation now. But winners delay gratification because they know success compounds. They study today for the opportunities tomorrow. They save today to build wealth tomorrow. They train today to win tomorrow. This is where the hidden psychology of success really comes into play. Winners understand that the brain is addicted to quick rewards, but they rewire themselves to find satisfaction in the process, not just the outcome. And here's the kicker. Once you start finding joy in the discipline itself, the long-term rewards come almost effortlessly. That's why some people always win. They're not chasing quick highs. They're building unshakable foundations. Section 4. Resilience. Turning setbacks into fuel. Everyone experiences failure, rejection, and obstacles. The difference between winners and everyone else is not the absence of problems. It's the way they respond to them. Winners see setbacks as stepping stones instead of dead ends. Psychologists call this a growth mindset, the belief that skills and intelligence can be developed through effort. People with a fixed mindset give up when things go wrong because they see failure as proof they're not capable. But resilient people see failure as feedback, as data, as fuel for the next attempt. This psychological shift is huge. Imagine someone applying for their dream job and getting rejected. A fixed mindset person will think, "I'm not good enough." A resilient person will think, "I need to improve my approach and try again." Same situation, two completely different outcomes. Resilience is not about ignoring pain. It's about learning from it and moving forward anyway. Think about how many successful people failed before making it big. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. They didn't stop because failure told them no. They used failure as a teacher that whispered, "Not yet." Resilience is the hidden armor of success. It transforms setbacks into comebacks. And that's why resilient people keep winning while others stay stuck. Section 5. Focus. The discipline of saying no. If there's one ingredient that separates the winners from everyone else, it's not intelligence, it's not talent, and it's not even luck. It's consistency. People who always win have mastered the art of showing up every single day. Even when motivation is gone, even when the excitement has faded, and even when life feels heavy. This is the psychology of discipline. The ability to repeat small actions long enough for them to create massive results. Think about it. Anyone can hit the gym once or twice. Anyone can read a book for a few days. But very few can stay committed for years. And that's why so few people actually win big in life. The hidden psychology behind consistency is that winners don't rely on bursts of motivation. They build systems. They know emotions are unreliable, so they set routines that make progress inevitable. For example, a successful writer doesn't wait for inspiration. They sit down at the desk at the same time every day. A winning athlete doesn't train only when it's convenient. They have a structured plan that they follow regardless of mood. Winners reduce their reliance on willpower by designing their environment and habits in a way that forces action. That's why they keep moving forward, while most people stall and give up. Another important truth about consistency is compounding. Small actions, repeated over time, multiply into extraordinary results. One workout won't change your body, but 1,000 will. Writing one page won't make you an author, but writing a page every day for a year gives you a book. This is what makes winners look almost superhuman from the outside. The truth is, they just did the boring, Small tasks long enough for others to notice the extraordinary outcome. But here's the real hidden edge. Consistency builds identity. When you repeatedly act in a certain way, your brain begins to see you as that kind of person. If you consistently practice discipline, you become the disciplined person. If you consistently choose growth, you become the growth-oriented person. And identity is powerful. Once you see yourself as the kind of person who wins, you begin to make decisions that reinforce that identity without even thinking. So why do some people always win? Because they never stop. They keep stacking bricks day after day until the wall is unshakable. And when life throws challenges at them, they don't crumble. They've already built the mental muscle of persistence. Success, at its core, isn't about doing something once. It's about doing it again and again until the world can no longer ignore you. In today's world, distractions are the biggest killers of potential. Social media, endless notifications, constant noise. Most people live in a state of scattered attention. But winners? They protect their focus like it's their greatest treasure. Because it is. The psychology here is simple. The brain works best when it's deeply engaged in one task at a time. Multitasking feels productive, but it actually lowers performance. People who always win understand this, so they prioritize ruthlessly. They know what to say yes to, but more importantly, they know what to say no to. Success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things with relentless consistency. Steve Jobs once said, "Focus is about saying no." That's why the most successful people don't waste their time chasing every shiny new thing. They choose a goal, they cut out distractions, and they pour their energy into mastering it. This level of focus creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Winners don't spread themselves thin. They go deep, and that depth of focus compounds into success. If you want to join the group of people who always win, you have to train your mind to resist distractions, protect your attention, cut out the noise, and give your best energy to what actually matters. Because in the psychology of success, focus is not optional. It's the foundation. At the end of the day, success isn't about luck, chance, or even raw talent. It's about psychology. The people who always seem to win are not superhuman. They simply think differently, act differently, and hold themselves to standards most people never do. They don't let fear paralyze them. They don't let distractions consume them. And they don't let failure define them. Instead, they use psychology as a weapon, mastering habits like delayed gratification, self-discipline, and emotional intelligence to stay 10 steps ahead. If you look closely, the winners of life have unlocked one crucial truth. The mind is the real battlefield. Money, opportunities, and connections all flow to those who learn how to manage their psychology. Think about it. A person who controls their emotions can handle setbacks without quitting. A person who develops self-belief walks into every room with authority. A person who learns delayed gratification can sacrifice comfort now for extraordinary rewards later. None of these are external. They're internal. And that's why the majority fail. They chase shortcuts while winners focus on mindset. But here's the hidden insight. This isn't reserved for a chosen few. You can train your psychology the same way you train a muscle. Success is not about being born lucky. It's about being disciplined enough to rewire how you think. The small choices you make daily, whether you read or scroll, whether you act or procrastinate, whether you endure or quit, are the bricks that build the castle of your future. Winners understand this. Losers ignore it. So the real question is, which side will you choose? Will you continue living on autopilot, letting emotions, excuses, and comfort keep you average? Or will you take control of your psychology and become one of the rare people who always win? If you've stayed with me this long, it means something inside you is ready for change. Don't ignore that. Start applying just one of the psychological hacks we discussed today. Build momentum. Train your discipline. Step by step. You'll see how quickly your life can shift when you take ownership of your mind. And now, I want to hear from you. Which of these hidden psychological principles hit you the hardest? Was it delayed gratification? The power of belief? Emotional intelligence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button so more people can discover it. Subscribe to the channel for more deep insights into psychology, success, and self-mastery. And turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. We're building a community of winners, and I want you to be part of it. Remember, success isn't about luck. It's about mastering your psychology. Change your mind, and you'll change your life.